When it comes to video game adaptations in cinema, I always have mixed feelings of excitement and skepticism. I think you know what the apprehensive state of mind is all about, because while we've had some iconic classics in this genre, there have also been some morbid failures as well that ruined both the game and the movie for the fans. Well, when it comes to Mortal Kombat, I'm usually on the more positive side, because the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie is probably one of the best live-action video game adaptations ever created. Yeah, the sequels didn't necessarily live up to the expectations, but I still think that the 2021 reboot was a decent effort. It had its share of flaws, but it won me over with amazing special effects and high production values. It's been 5 years since then, and finally we have the official trailer to the sequel that is all set for a May 2026 release. I'm quite impressed by the look of the trailer, and this movie, directed by Simon McQuoid, seems to be headed in the right direction. I love how much of the original cast has returned, but the real showstopper has to be Karl Urban's Johnny Cage. He seems like the primary protagonist of the movie, and I could not be happier with this casting. There's a lot to take away from the eventful and action-packed trailer in this video, and I'll break it down for you so that you know exactly what to expect when you head to the theaters in May. First things first, the most exciting thing about the trailer for me has to be the casting choices. It's always good for the viewers when the original actors reprise their roles for the sequel. And here, you'll find a lot of important characters coming back. You'll see Jessica McNamee's Sonya Blade in action, Makad Brooks' Jax, Sanada's Scorpion, and Ludi Lin's Liu Kang, all reprising their roles. Of course, there are plenty of new additions as well, and I'm looking forward to the performances of Damon Herriman as Quan Chi, CJ Bloomfield as Baraka, and Martin Ford as Shao Kahn. And yes, I think we can all agree that the choice of casting Karl Urban as Johnny Cage is as perfect as it gets. Every Mortal Kombat fan has a soft spot for this unique character who happens to be a washed-up action star who gets dragged into the tournament between Earthrealm and Outworld. And it's nice to see our very own Billy Butcher back in action in a very different avatar. For me, Johnny Cage is all the more important because he serves as a comic relief in an otherwise serious narrative. And Karl Urban has perfected that from the looks of it in the trailer. He has a quirky side that masks his actual abilities, and I can assure you of several hilarious moments featuring him in the film. You can already tell that the creators have been keen on using him as a major face of the project, because Warner's actually went through the trouble of commissioning a short film that serves as a faux teaser trailer for Johnny Cage's magnum opus, Uncaged Fury. Maybe it's for the best that Louis Tan's Cole Young is supplanted by Cage as the main man, because Cole wasn't exactly a high point of the 2021 film. However, reports do suggest that he will still feature in the movie, even though he's not appeared in the trailer. One of the main reasons that most people have loved the trailer of Mortal Kombat 2 is because of the quirky one-liners and the snarky comments of Johnny Cage.
It's showtime.
And the sense of humor is something that's an essential for a successful Mortal Kombat adaptation. The trick is to strike the right balance between the extensive Mortal Kombat lore and engaging storytelling, and so far, I can tell you that the upcoming project is headed in the footsteps of the 1995 film, which is clearly a great sign. Another major takeaway for the fans from this new trailer is that they'll finally get to witness the actual tournament. I don't know about you, but for me, this was one of the most disappointing things about the 2021 film. Shouldn't Mortal Kombat be focused on the tournament that decides the fate of Earthrealm? While the predecessor went too deep into the lore, the sequel is trying to accomplish everything that the first one failed at. This is why you have a pretty menacing Shao Kahn as the big bad. And if all goes well, Mortal Kombat 2 is going to be one hell of a crowd pleaser. There's another little thing that caught my eye in the trailer that I cannot keep calm about. I'm talking about Quan Chi's Blink and You'll Miss It cameo. And many of the fans have pointed out that this iconic character from Mortal Kombat is visible for a split second in a darkened shot. If you're particular about the timestamp, watch out at the 1 minute 26 second moment of the trailer, right when Kano sits up missing an eye. You'll see Quan Chi lurking behind him in a black hood, and his white face and eye markings are briefly visible as well. This character, played by Damon Herriman, might be a major selling point of the movie, and I wonder why they're trying to conceal his full look so hard. There's also this subtle moment in the trailer where Quan Chi appears to be resurrecting someone in another background shot. And one of the fans pointed out that this could well be Noob Saibot that he's raising. You might also take heart from the fact that Noob Saibot is officially in the movie, and this has been confirmed both by the trailer and the fan community. Do you remember Joe Taslim, who played Bi-Han or Sub-Zero in the first film? Well, he's the one back as Noob Saibot, and his resurrected form promises to give hell to the fighters. More than the trailer, you need to go back to the teaser that was released earlier, because this teaser had shown Scorpion performing a fatality on Noob by slicing him down the middle. They appear to be fighting in the Netherrealm, and with the right production values and effects, I can only imagine how grand the creators can turn this on the big screen. Many of the fans and trusted sources have confirmed that Sub-Zero is in fact Noob Saibot here, and I'm confident that such a twist holds a lot of importance for the film. There's a scene in the trailer where you hear the dialogue,
"The rules of the tournament are simple. Our fates would not be settled by the size of our armies.
It would be decided by combat." I cannot tell you enough about the significance of this line, because it resonates with everything that Mortal Kombat stands for. This is the heart of the franchise's cosmology, and I really like how this moment consolidates the importance of the tournament in the film. The fight is about to get nasty, and we have plenty of hints about that from the trailer. But the significance of playing by the rules while also fighting those who always try to find loopholes is what will hold the movie together. There have been very strong rumors about this one, and rumors are not always completely wrong. Yes, I'm talking about the role of Cole Young in the film. I've already told you about how he's been absent from the trailer, and reports indicate that he's been pushed to a minor background role in the actual movie. There have been multiple sources that have hinted at the possibility that the character will die very early in the movie, maybe even in the opening sequence itself. But on this note, I must tell you about another interesting theory that has reached me: the speculations around him being turned into Kenshi. I know this might be thinking a bit too out the box at the moment, but when it comes to Mortal Kombat, I rule out absolutely nothing. Speaking of ruling nothing out from this much-awaited sequel, how excited are you to see King Jared in action? From the looks of it, you'll see this underrated character in the movie, and there have been some confirmations about Desmond Kime playing the role. There's a scene that shows Shao Kahn stabbing someone, and everyone was quick to assume that this is Cole Young dying. But some of the seasoned fans have pointed out that this was Jared from the flashback of the time when Shao Kahn took over Edenia. If this turns out to be true, then it would be a significant homage to the history and lore of the franchise, and the fall of Edenia playing out in the movie will mean that we get a lot of insights into the origin of Kitana and Sindel's tragic story. I'm really looking forward to this. I hope this actually plays out and they make it relevant enough. Is it Raiden trapped inside Shinnok's amulet in the trailer? Now, I'm not too sure about this one, because it's so hard to tell from pausing the seconds and zooming in, but there are many others who have claimed the same. Shang Tsung appears to be trapping Raiden inside Shinnok's amulet, and if this indeed becomes part of the story, then it will definitely be in line with the Mortal Kombat game mythology, where the amulet is used to trap and control powerful souls. Let's not forget that Quan Chi is the keeper of the amulet in the games, and this will mean a greater role for the seasoned veteran in the movie. Not everything can be perfect about the trailer, and yeah, I've seen something that I didn't really appreciate. Did you notice Kitana's mask in the trailer? It might look cool for the kids, but the CGI generated tricks don't impress me, even if that means she has a nanotech mask. The way it covers her face when she wants it to reminds me of Iron Man, and I don't want the additional effort here. In fact, this has turned out to be one of the more criticized moments in the trailer, and the fans have spoken out about how they would prefer a real cloth or a fabric mask over this CGI gimmick. I do understand, however, that the creators feel the need to be visually perfect, and this is an attempt to evoke awe from the young audience. Now, let me quickly take you through some of the other major characters and their subtle appearance in the trailer, along with the implications for the movie. We've seen a quick shot of Johnny Cage flirting with Sonya Blade, and this is quite significant because in the video game lore, their romance is quite an important plot. Adeline Rudolph as Kitana has already taken my breath away with her badass presence and fast moves, and even though I'm not a fan of her CGI mask, I can bet that her on-screen presence will enhance the movie experience. Also, the role of Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion will be one interesting puzzle point because he'll play the role in a different capacity. Ed Boon has said, he's not part of the Super Friends trying to defeat Shao Kahn, but his appearance is key and is very essential for certain parts. I can't wait to know what that's all about. He has vengeance on his mind, and you can expect some memorable fight sequences. I'm also quite interested to see Makad Brooks as Jax in the movie, and the trailer has served up some intense moments featuring him as he takes full advantage of his cybernetic arms. Of course, Raiden is heroic and gallant as ever, and his presence in the trailer is easily one of the coolest moments. I still cannot get over how many important characters have been introduced into the trailer, teaser, and earlier posters, now that we're so close to the release date. One of the characters that you expect to have a decisive role in the movie is Sindel, who is all set to appear in the movie. From whatever has been revealed so far, I would say that the creators have done a wonderful job in replicating her classic game look. She has the familiar gray hair, a vibrant purple costuming, but what I've noticed about her expression on the poster is not exactly normal. I'm not alone in this because many other fans have pointed out that she seems to be under the influence of someone here. If this hunch turns out to be the real deal, then I wouldn't be surprised if she's controlled and manipulated by Shao Kahn himself. The posters often give away a lot more about the movie than one would expect, and another defining moment that comes from the posters of Mortal Kombat 2 is the appearance of Baraka, who has a prominent position on the official poster. While this is quite an exciting prospect for me, I'm also worried about the possibility that he might be used as someone who loses a bit too quickly in order to establish the main characters.
Finish him!
I cannot possibly end the discussion about all the intriguing details about the trailer without talking about the presence of Shao Kahn. We all know that a movie like this only works when the main antagonist is terrifying enough, and Shao Kahn's appearance in the trailer does that perfectly. Not only does he have the ideal thundering voice that is enough to intimidate you, but in every frame that he's shown, Shao Kahn has been established as the big bad threat to Earthrealm. From the early looks of it, he'll have plenty on his plate, and I expect him to come this close to taking over Earthrealm. Martin Ford is terrific in the role, and I know that he can carry the importance of the bad guy to pose several challenges to the Earthrealm warriors in the tournament. All serious stuff and hidden details aside, I think there are some real positives to take home from the trailer. For starters, you can be sure there are loads of action, and I'm talking about good old-fashioned jaw-dropping fight scenes that'll remind you why we love Mortal Kombat so much. The franchise co-creator Ed Boon has promised double the intensity and even teased that the sequel will have double the number of fights compared to the first movie. Since the story might well be focused around the tournament, I think it's quite likely, and the trailer also indicates something like that on the cards. If you didn't have a proper adrenaline rush while watching the film in theaters on May 8th, I would say that it all turned out to be a wasted opportunity. Of course, I'm aware that there's many a slip between the cup and the lip. The jury's still out until we actually see the movie in theaters, but the early signs are promising and make me hopeful. As Jeremy Slater, the screenplay man behind the film, has pointed out, we're really looking at this as a chance to take everything that worked in the first one and do it even better, and give the audience even more, and make something that's just incredibly satisfying and really exciting and unpredictable. He also said that it's not necessary to go on replicating the tone of MCU, and Mortal Kombat should remain exactly how the fans have loved the franchise for the last few decades. If the trailer's any indication, we're all set for a solid entertainer on our hands, and maybe this is the one that rejuvenates the franchise for many more to follow. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the trailer of Mortal Kombat 2, and share your expectations for the movie that make you believe in the franchise yet again.